WWT presents Partner Spotlight.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Partner Spotlight brought to you by WWT Presents. My name is Chris Konrad. I'm the Vice President of WWT's Global Cyber Business. And today, we'll be talking about a very important topic facing most of our customers out there today, and that is the convergence of the network with security, and specifically the dire need to drive simplicity as leaders try and get their heads around an ever-changing threat vector and an also growing and very difficult adversary. But before we dive into the topic, I want to introduce our panel. And I'm thrilled to be joined today by three incredible guests that when taken together, they have decades upon decades upon decades of experience guiding organizations of all sizes to incredible outcomes on both the network and the security side of the business. So first up, we have Raj Chopra. He's a Senior Vice President and Chief Product Officer for Cisco Security. Raj is a seasoned executive with a proven track record of delivering market-leading innovation in security with a strong focus on user-first experiences. We're also lucky to have Vikas Butaney, Cisco's Senior Vice President and General Manager of Cisco's SD-WAN, multi-cloud, and Industrial IoT. Vikas's global teams are accelerating the journey of customers leverage IT and to increase business agility, simplify their operations, and use the power of software-defined and cloud capabilities across campus and branch and data centers. And last, but certainly not least, is my colleague and good friend, Neil Anderson. Neil is the Vice President of our AI, Cloud, Infrastructure Solutions global practice. He works every single day across all of WWT's customer segments, which includes our global enterprise and service provider and public sector. And candidly, I also think he's one heck of a cyber professional as well. So to the three of you, thank you so much for taking the time today. So first up, Raj, I'm going to bring you into the conversation right away. So we're talking today about the integration of network and security and how they're colliding more than ever before. And why does that convergence matter? And more importantly, what does it mean for not only the CIO, but also the CISO towers that are watching today?
Yeah, thank you, Chris, for the very generous introduction and reminding us we're all getting older. Talking about networking, right, which has always been about connecting everyone. In fact, that at Cisco is our mission to connect all people productively with applications. And we believe every time there is a connectedness between users and application, that's the time to secure it. Networking without security just seems like a half-finished sandwich. As systems get connected, that is also the time that they need to be protected. In fact, if you take a look, 90% plus of all the internet traffic is encrypted. And much of the internal, in fact, traffic is also encrypted. So if we were not applying all of the right tooling for the traffic that is going through, we'd not be doing our jobs properly. I'll give you a data point. Meraki today processes 8 trillion transactions across the 2 million deployed footprints that we have of the MX firewall. Now, flow data that we get from the Meraki firewalls are sent up. That valuable telemetry is sent up to be analyzed for security threats into XDR, where we take in all of that telemetry so we can identify not only if the traffic that is coming from a particular destination, is it clean or not clean, but if there is any lateral movement of the bad guys that the bad guys may be making in the network. So not only is network important for us to know when or if a security event has happened, it also helps us prevent any lateral movement which leads to ransomware that is rife in our environment. This is the power of bringing network and security together and better more secure outcomes that CISOs desire and CIOs value as well.
Yeah, you mentioned Cisco XDR, and I just candidly think that's such a powerful story that you have. Cisco, in my opinion, really owns that network, and having that XDR strategy is really important to Cisco, and I think to the industry at this point. I'd like to stay with you, Raj, just for one more follow up question, and that is get back to the key word that really is driving this conversation today, and that's simplicity. So the state of enterprise AT from networking to security to consolidation to regulation is in phase of rapid transformation and complexity. And over the last, we'll call it 18 months, AI, of course, has only thrown gas on that fire. And given everything IT leaders must focus on, it's no wonder it's a major theme we hear from our clients is agility and simplicity. Just maybe a few comments on that.
Yeah, as you rightly pointed out, I think complexity is a conversation that comes up numerous times as I engage with customers myself. And one of the ways to do this is to abstract away from that complexity so that you can start to both reason with the security and networking controls, as well as bring the pervasive view of your entire environment into one place, so that you can not only get visibility into what exactly is happening, but you can be far more precise with the kind of security controls that you're able to put in place. One of those ways that we are abstracting away from this complexity is by using AI for good. In fact, if you see our recently launched AI assistant, which is a uniform assistant across the entire Cisco estate, you can now start to talk to your firewall, for example, and expect a polite answer back for a change, right? You can literally just talk to your firewall. By using natural language, you can ask for information, get multimodal responses back, instead of having to joust through mouse clicks here and there and flipping between one page after the other. All of the relevant information is pulled together into a prompt interface, by which the admin can be far more productive. And it's these experiences that are not just limited to the firewall, but something that we're also bringing over to SSE and SASE, to SOC, and the entirety of the portfolio. There are obviously many times I've been asked, like, why start with firewall? It's just that it is very, very complicated. If you look at a firewall config, it's like a wall of bits and bytes, almost seems like assembly code if you look at it, and nobody can reason. This is with that rule set, because people only end up creating new rules. Nobody takes out firewall rules, right? And just like anything that only gets added to, nothing ever gets removed, that barnacles start to grow on these policies, and people are at that point in time really afraid, because if I take out this one block out of the Jenga that have been created, maybe the whole thing is going to come tumbling down. And so, because they do not have that ability to reason what might break, they do not want to ever optimize their firewall rule set. AI is one particular way that we have shown customers that they can absolutely reason with their firewall rule set, as well as make it a lot simpler, so that you can compress what takes a trouble ticket and a firewall rule change, a meeting, 3 hours worth of calls back and forth, can be distilled down to a handful of minutes, so that humans are assisted by technology to make a very efficient decision.
It's so good to see how you're leveraging AI today to help us defend against that difficult adversary, as I said a little bit ago, as they're using AI to attack us. So it's such a powerful tool in this case. Vikas, I'd like to bring you into the conversation today and get your thoughts on this topic as well.
Absolutely. Chris, it's great to be here with you, Raj and Neil. Like you started out, I think simplicity is really the essence of what our customers are looking for, right? Like, as the networks over time have grown and they've become more and more mission critical, with our Cisco networking cloud vision, we are really focused on simplifying and making it easier for our customers to be able to deliver, to be able to receive great outcomes, and for all of the practitioners to use capabilities, around simplicity of what we do with our Meraki portfolio, but also what we're doing with our Catalyst portfolio to bringing them together to do that. And this really starts anywhere from delivering a common user experience with capabilities, single sign-on, and bringing all of this tool set together between the work that Raj's team is doing and the networking teams are doing across Cisco. Now, to your specific questions about AI, clearly, all of us are developing chatbots and capabilities to deliver it. But it's not just about how you interface to the system, but it's also really about the data we have within the capabilities that we have across the portfolio. We're using capabilities around Thousand Eyes. We're using capabilities of Catalyst WAN Manager and the capabilities of Catalyst Center Meraki to kind of collect all of this telemetry data that gives us the capability to simplify the troubleshooting, the resolution, and taking care of remediation. Let me give you an example of that. With capabilities of Thousand Eyes and SD-WAN coming together, we have this capability around predictive path recommendation. So if we notice that a given path or a given network element is experiencing some congestion, we can route around it to get a better quality of experience. And we're integrating that capability with services from Microsoft for Office 365, and then taking that capability to make it part of the network fabric with everything we're doing. So absolutely, AI is not just about how we interface to the network, but it's the intelligence of the system to kind of make better recommendations and continue to improve uptime and security for what our customers are facing.
And Neil, I'd like to get you into this conversation here. You are at the forefront in helping worldwide help our customers solve some of the most complex challenges that they're facing. You see a lot of complexity sometimes within our customer base. What are your thoughts on this subject?
Yeah, Chris, as you know, our teams have been working so closely together with our customers because the architectures that our customers are deploying really has become both, network, security, cloud. They're all joined. And so what I'm struck by is, I see Cisco making the security practitioner their lives easier with simplicity that, like Raj talked about. I see Vikas's team making it on the network side much easier for the network practitioners. And I think it's super important because we see every day these teams having to work together to solve the problems. So the easier that their respective jobs are, as well as that common experience that Cisco has been delivering, it's super important, I think, for those teams to be able to seamlessly work together, because that's the only way that some of these, global threats are going to get solved. And like I think Raj pointed out, I think Cisco is really uniquely suited to solve this problem. The telemetry that's available to Cisco about these global threats and being able to instantly isolate them and, mitigate them, like that the XDR story is just second to none, in my opinion. And I don't know of another solution besides Cisco that can really address these kind of global challenges, Chris.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Vikas, I'd like to get you back in here just again. So we're also seeing this convergence of network and security happening in the operational environments like manufacturing and plant floors. Can you talk about what's happening in this space and why that's important?
Absolutely, Chris. Look, I think, through COVID and kind of where our customers are, as they're bringing manufacturing capacity back here to the US and they're building resiliency into their businesses, cybersecurity becomes top of mind. Whether I'm talking to an automotive customer or I'm talking to a food and bev customer, for them, the cybersecurity or cyber visibility, first and foremost, is a first order bit that they need to have. Many times the CEO is asking the CIO and the CISO to help protect their operational environments. And literally this week, I had a mining customer in town where the CEO was concerned about, how do I operate my mine? And I'm going to have these dozers that are going to be driving around. How do I protect? And am I vulnerable to environments like that? And so when we engage with customers to that effect, they really want to make sure not just that their data and their systems are protected, but when something goes wrong in their operational environments, it can have impact to the safety of their employees, to the product and the quality of the capability, whatever they're manufacturing, whether it's a car or a pharmaceutical remedy. So cybersecurity is top of mind when it comes into the operational environments. And many customers that we speak with every week, they don't necessarily have a great inventory and kind of what is the communication pattern in these operational environments. So what we are helping our customers to do, and with partners like WWT, is make sure that they can start with an assessment. They can get visibility to what's happening in these environments, and then use technologies like machine learning to look for that baseline. And then if there are any deviations, because most of these industries have a very set pattern that you can go to. So our product, like CyberVision, is exactly that. It's built right into the network fabric. We can monitor all of the traffic that's going through these production environments. And if there is a vulnerable, we can get an inventory. Second, we can figure out all of the software versions. If there are any vulnerabilities of them, we can alert the operator to that. And if there are any anomalies, if the behavior or the pattern changes, then we can alert the operator to make sure they can go take an action. Clearly, this is about human safety and the products that the customers are producing. So it's clearly top of mind for many CEOs around the world.
I'm glad you brought this subject up. I mean, for me, I'm a big believer in fundamentals and knowing the basics, and that starts with inventory. You have to know what's happening, what's on your network. You need to understand the assets. So whether they're routers or switches or endpoints, but also understanding applications and understanding where they're at and the criticality of all those. It's so important. And Raj, I want to come back to you. We were lucky enough to have Jeetu Patel, your executive vice president and general manager of security, in collaboration on this show several months back, right after Cisco Live. In fact, Jeetu talked about how Cisco was wanting to fundamentally rethink how the industry works, going from point solutions and products to platforms and suites. Can you give us an update on the transformation to the Cisco Security Cloud and how that's going?
Yeah, sure. Happy to. Um, so about 2 years ago, I think it was at RSA 22, that's where Cisco launched Security Cloud. Security Cloud brings together a whole bunch of services into an architecture so that the relevant capabilities are available for whatever kind of policy that needs to be expressed and enforced. About a year ago, around this time, is when we launched suites so that we simplified not only our messaging, but also the consumption of the right set of tooling that a customer may have. I found that there were customers who were making, in my opinion, less than optimal choices because they didn't want to pay $1 here or $2 there for another tool, et cetera, and falling into this sort of rut, so to speak, where they were optimizing for their spend rather than a better security outcome. That is the scale that we changed completely, where we said, look, we want to orient our entire portfolio for security into 3 different suites. How do you protect your users? User protection suite. How do you protect all your applications, which may be hybrid, which may be predominantly in the cloud, or maybe some are physically on-prem, and that is what comprises Cloud Protection Suite. And the third one is when or if something were to go wrong, how would you identify something has gone wrong? But more importantly, how would you recover from that incident very quickly? And that's breach protection. So customers are looking for outcomes, and we have distilled those outcomes into 3 suites for the entire portfolio, which is user protection, cloud protection, and breach protection suite. One of the critical components of this entire sort of security cloud experience has been that people are not in a swivel chair going from this console to another console to whatever. The goal here is to provide a seamless experience specific for the persona as they go about accomplishing their task. The other big element is this huge injection of going from data to knowledge to intelligence. And in Security Cloud, we bring, of course, threat intelligence that comes from Talos, which maybe some of your viewers know this, maybe not, but it's the largest source of threat intel outside of the US federal government. All Fortune 100 utilize Talos intelligence, threat intelligence feed. So Talos brings in the threat intelligence. Then we have injected identity intelligence in a big way into our thinking, into our architecture, into our policy constructs. And of course, AI, specifically Gen I, but artificial intelligence that is helping us raise our game on the defensive side of the house. I give you an example of AI earlier. Let me give you one for identity, how this makes security cloud sort of come alive. So, for example, I mean, we know that majority of the breaches involve a threat being, sorry, an identity being compromised one way or the other. Um, Now, very, very often, the attacker is sitting halfway across the world that has stolen your employee's credentials, and they're making their way, whether it is through abusing, using MFA, playing tricks through fish bombing, and so on and so forth. Suffice it to say, they're trying to get access to your systems of record, your application, your SaaS application. Now, that attacker never touched your traditional network, right? Never even touched the endpoint, but they have somehow breached the trust perimeter that you might have in the organization, right? And what they have compromised is that identity, and now they can get access into systems, etc. Didn't touch the network, didn't touch the endpoint. That visibility into what exactly happened and the prevention thereof starts with identity intelligence, so that we can then make all of the appropriate enforcement decisions that comprise security cloud. So it's the intelligence that helps raise the game for not only policy definition but also uniform enforcement for better security outcomes.
And I think it's really important what you talked about, Raj, around the platform. We hear, Chris and I hear a lot around tool consolidation, and the security organizations just have too many tools, too much sprawl. And how do I operationalize all of it? So being able to consolidate that, through what you've described, I think is super important for security organizations. They're looking for platforms and easier solutions to be able to operationalize all these different security threat vectors.
And maybe just to add one other additional point on this, in our mindset with security cloud, we are being inclusive as a company. So this is not a platform for Cisco. This is a platform for customers. So even if they were using a tool that was not per se from Cisco, we would want them to use most of the things from Cisco. But even if they had a tool that was not from Cisco, we don't suddenly develop antibodies against it, right? We are actually working in deep integration with many of these products because our goal is to produce a secure, a better outcome for the customer, not so much only about you have to use this one product from us or another product from us. So it is not just platform for, it is platform for the industry. Let me put it that way.
Raj and Neil, you're absolutely spot on around the tooling. I mean, we live in a multi OEM world, and not only do organizations need to reduce the number of tool sets that they have, they need to be able to operationalize and integrate all the various tools to get full value out of their entire security estates. That's really good context there. So, Raj, I'm going to change gears a little bit here to talk about SASE. So, adopting a full SASE model by leveraging SSE with existing SD-WAN platforms remains a top priority. Neil lives in this world every single day, and we're advising our clients on this. Can you talk a little bit about Cisco Secure Access, which is your SSE solution that combines converged, cloud, delivered security, and zero trust principles? Thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, that's a great topic, and let me start off. This is a topic that has, for some reason, become overly complex. But I'm going to try to demystify this a little bit, maybe using an analogy. You and I, right? When we go up, and we want to get ourselves a glass of water, walk up to the tap. I personally never ever wonder, like, is the water coming from a copper pipe or a plastic pipe, or like what? Nobody spends the time thinking about those. You turn the tap, you get yourself a glass of water, shut it off, and have your drink, right? But if you compare this with the experience that an average user gets when they are going about their workday, it is well, I have to be on a VPN for this certain application if I have to access an internal thing, or I have to not be on a VPN if I'm accessing some other maybe multimedia application. If I have to go to SaaS, then I have to do this authentication, which might be to another. It is all this complexity that is pushed to the end user for no good reason, when all they want to do is open up their laptop, log themselves into the device, and get to work, right? Everything else is just plumbing. And as vendors, it is our job to take care of that plumbing, not like what little thing has to be exposed to the end user. So we are absolutely on a mission to give flawless end user experiences, and user as in you and me as users, as well as administrators that are managing all these services that we provide, because that complexity also shows up in admin experiences. um, Part of delivering that service is also infrastructure that puts it all together, right? And one of the important pieces which people have built their practices for, all of the access Vikas was talking about, is really important. So that integration that we're talking about also includes like a faster deployment, and that can happen only through automating some of the things that you might have established in your infrastructure today, and whether these are branch sites, or whether Vikas mentioned something about manufacturing environments, which are very critical, pharmaceuticals, healthcare, etc., etc. The second part is all of the objects that have been defined for connectedness within what is classically known as SD-WAN. All of those objects are also reused in access policies everywhere, right? And so to let's make sure that there is reuse of those policy constructs, so that you don't have to define the same thing again and again and make mistakes along the way. And the third part is seamless access for users, whether they're accessing any of the application that is sitting in their private data center, that might be hosted in the cloud or on-prem, or they have to service an AWS VPC to which they have to open an SSH connection, and that gets lost. RDP ports get open. Sometimes people forget. Like, all of that daily rigmarole of things becomes a thing of the past, because we can give users secure access that they never have to think twice about whether I have to take some special action because I am accessing a different kind of application. And finally, it's not just this user experience that we offer as part of the solution. We visualize all of that by integrating Thousand Eyes into that same experience. So for the first time, the IT organization has full understanding of any user accessing any application in their environment, right? An authoritative understanding of that experience from every user. Bringing all of these capabilities into a seamless, singular construct that we take to the market as SASE is what we are very proud of, and it's been a great start since we launched this product just a couple of months ago, 3 months ago now. Yeah.
Because I know you've got a strong opinion on this subject. Maybe you can add a few words here.
Sure, absolutely. Look, I think just as Raj called out, that our customers expect to be able to connect any user, any device to any application in public or private clouds, because they have mission critical business operations to run. So you've seen us, I think, as Raj said, we announced this a few months ago, is this tight integration between Catalyst SD-WAN and Cisco Secure Access, such that our enterprise and mid-market customers have this top level experience backed by Cisco to make sure kind of how you start by connecting your SD-WAN fabrics to secure access, and we have a robust roadmap that Raj and our teams are working together on. But we also appreciate the fact that customers have been, just as Raj said, we know that the environments that our customers are operating in is somewhat complex. So you might have started a journey with one place or another. We want to make sure that from a Cisco point of view, you can start integrating Catalyst SD-WAN with other SSCs if that's what you have done. And you're going to see us continue to work closely with our security teammates to make sure that this looks like a best of breed solution between what we are building. Now, I think as Raj called out, applications are everywhere. Our SD-WAN fabrics are deployed across, whether it's a small office, mid-range, campus location, using these cloud on-ramp technologies to make sure that there is a seamless experience to an application. If it's running in my private data center, right, and that's where we can be connected behind a Catalyst 8000 series router, or I'm sitting behind in an Amazon or an Azure environment. We've been working very closely with Amazon and Azure to make sure that these fabrics are easily connected such that you can get a secure connection all the way through. And now we're even offering these capabilities through Azure and AWS marketplaces such that our customers can get benefit from it. So you're going to see us continue to bring the secure access and the capabilities of SASE to life, whether you are a large, mid-sized customer, and even for the smaller customers, we're going to see us continue to serve that customer base using our Meraki capabilities. Look, it's always great to talk about it from a customer angle. We've been working with a retailer in Poland who's got 10,000 small stores across their footprint. They're using automation to bring up these environments overnight and take them down in a pop-up store kind of thing environment, all using their automation and doing it at scale. And that's what gives us joy and pride in how our customers are using this technology.
Neil, I see you shaking your head here in agreement with this. I'd like to bring you in to talk a little bit about how we've been testing solutions in our own advanced technology center and cyber range. We've been testing all types of solutions, over the years. Can you share a little bit about what we've learned about these types of solutions and capabilities and what we've done in different proof of concepts and test plans with customers?
Yeah, Chris, and the WWT Advanced Technology Center that's been around for quite a while, and it's a huge investment for WWT. I think last I saw, it's over $1 billion worth of different equipment that's in there. And the reason it's valuable, it started out really as let's learn about these environments, and then it was exposed to customers, and customers wanted to learn, and then we evolved that to customers want to come in and evaluate. They want to test. Hey, I'm thinking about this solution, or I'm thinking about deploying it in this way, maybe with multiple OEM technologies that have to be integrated into a stack. Is that going to work? Can I validate that? And we've done literally thousands of proof of concepts with customers in our ATC to help them prove out, before they go deploy those 10,000 locations, like, you talked about, Vikas. We want to make sure that that's going to work, right? And the customer's going to get their expectations met. Most recently, we've evolved that again to what we call cyber range. And, Chris has worked very closely with the team, the ATC team, on this, where customers can come into the cyber range and practice skill sets. You practice, what is it like to defend against a breach? What is it like to have to recover from a breach? And you want to build that muscle memory before it happens, right? If you're under attack, or you've already been, compromised, and now you have to recover, you better have practiced that, because that's not the time where you want to try to figure out what are the steps to recover again. That's what the cyber range is about. It's about building that muscle memory for customers. It's been a resounding success. Many of our customers are coming into that range, and we've incorporated all the technologies that you've been talking about today, Raj and Vikas. We're incorporating those into our cyber range so people can get access to those technologies and, again, practice their skill sets. Another innovation that we've recently launched is our AI proving ground. We talked about AI a little bit earlier. AI is pretty complex. How you build that architecture. What do I need to be able to run AI? Do I do it in cloud? Do I build something on premise? Our AI proving ground answers that question for customers. We've been collaborating with Cisco on that, with others like NVIDIA and others in there to let customers come in again and figure out, what is the architecture I need? How am I actually going to build this? Get confidence and then go make that purchase, whether it's in the cloud or it's on premise for that AI environment. And so that's, again, we have so much demand for that, as you can imagine, Chris, that's going on right now. It's outstripping our capacity a little bit, which is fantastic. That's the problem that we want to have. But we're helping customers every day to understand AI, understand LLMs. How do they need to apply them to the problems that they're facing and they want to exercise for their business? So it's a big investment for us, Chris, and we feel that we provide value not only to our customers but to companies like Cisco for the results that we can share with with Cisco to say, hey, this is what we're seeing in the market. Our customers are demanding. Can you make your products better to solve those?
Yeah, no doubt, Neil. It's the biggest competitive value proposition we have as an organization. I just love seeing all the various use cases, not just in security, but across networking and cloud, and AI is really, really powerful for us.
And to give credit, I want to underline what Neil you shared. Like, one of the beneficiaries of ATCs, in addition to your customers, is also vendors like us, because to get that third party unvarnished as well as fair view is very important. So we're all tuned to what is the real world environment looking like, right? It's not just a lab, it's not just a test setup, but it mimics close to real world as it gets, and it is invaluable to get that information. This is why I genuinely enjoy the partnership we have with WWT. It definitely raises our collective game for the benefit of our customers.
Raj, I think I can probably talk to you all day on this particular subject, but just maybe, as you mentioned at the top of this, the landscape is moving really fast on a variety of different fronts, from network, security, AI, just all of it. What can you share about what we can expect to see from Cisco over the next 12 or 18 months as it relates to products or strategy?
Yeah, Chris, I mean, it's an exciting time. Last year, 23, we were chock full of new innovation that we brought to the market: multi-cloud defense, secure access, extended detection and response, were new introductions. We reimagined the entire firewall product line. We brought in AI-assisted experiences. You should expect in 2024 a lot more around identity intelligence, and AI, of course, powering a bunch of things that will become pervasive. How we start to reimagine network or security in for all of your applications, hybrid as well as on-prem. And then this little thing with Splunk that your viewers might be interested in. You can expect us to do many interesting things together as we get to the close of that acquisition. So 2024 is going to be a blockbuster year for us to bring innovation to our customers as well.
Vikas, any words from you on that?
Oh, absolutely. Look, I think it's going to be an amazing calendar year 24 coming up, Chris and Neil. You've seen us embark on the journey around Cisco Networking Cloud, which is to bring simple, secure IT experience at scale for all of our users and our customers around the world. So what you're going to expect from us specific to in this context is you're going to see us continue to lean into a digital experience monitoring with Thousand Eyes getting deeper and deeper integrated into our portfolio, such that customers have good visibility for any device, any user talking to any application. So the networking, such that your mean time to repair and mean time to innocence from a network point of view will accelerate. Security and secure networking is a very important theme for our investment. You're going to see us launch new product capabilities where you're going to see us improve our performance, our efficacy, working closely with Raj and Tom's teams to make sure that we are integrating security across our portfolio and deliver to you the best of Cisco networking and best of Cisco security together, making it easier for you, our partners, and our customers to bring and consume that capability. AI is going to be everything that we do around leveraging AI to help us help customers prevent brownouts and be able to use AI capabilities to route around failures, investing around, using AI to deliver a better assurance experiences, whether it's from a Wi-Fi domain with radio resource management, and continuing to leverage AI to build smarter and smarter products with the goal of delivering operational simplicity such that our customers and our partners can run their businesses at peak performance while managing the headcount and the talent shortages that we are all facing around the industry. Look, it's going to be an amazing year coming up, and stay tuned for what we're going to announce at Cisco Live US coming up in 3 months or so.
Can't wait. It's such a good story to hear the end-to-end architecture for Cisco. And as organizations try to reduce the number of tool sets they have, this platform is really set up for success. And Neil, as you know, we always like to give our viewers practical, actionable steps that they can take to improve their tomorrow. So any advice that you have or actionable priorities you would give to enterprise IT leaders, security leaders looking to simplify their network and security operations?
Yeah, Chris, what strikes me is, this technology is moving so fast, right? AI is going to make it move even faster. It is increasingly difficult to keep up with the technology, right, that I should be deploying. Advances every day. You can see the speed of this innovation that's coming out of Cisco. I mean, it's just mind-blowing. At the same time, the security landscape is evolving rapidly as well, right? And it's a bit of a challenge, right, for organizations. We feel for our customers. We see every day the struggles that they're going through. The good news is you're not alone. You can come into our ATC. You can try these technologies. They're already there, right? It will save you months having to acquire that, try to stand it up on your own. It's there. It's waiting for you to come in, explore it, get hands-on, conduct a proof of concept, go try your skills in the cyber range. Those technologies are already deployed for you. You can really fast forward the learning and the conversation to, hey, I'm getting hands-on and I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to move fast. And the same thing with AI. The proving ground is just going to accelerate that for customers, Chris. And so I would say, practical advice is you're not alone. Take advantage of these resources that we can provide you at WWT to fast forward yourself into real deployment and solving the real challenges versus continuing to struggle with evaluations.
No, you're spot on, Neil. That's really good advice. And I know we're running up on time. Actually, we're over time. I'm getting pop-ups here saying to end this. So thank you all very much for sharing your time, your expertise, and insights with us today. Really good thought leadership. We'd love to have each of you back for another conversation. So let's look to schedule something in the near future. But for now, we'll call it a wrap. So thank you so much for your time today. And we'll talk to you next time.
Thanks, Chris, for hosting us.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Neil.